For the game, Frank Lampard will have a number of ideas about so many players, of course, but for people like Mason Mount, who knew him for so much last season, but a very important 90 minutes coming up. And it's St Patrick's Athletic in the red and white, who is the backup goalkeeper for St Patrick's, with an early save as the corner is delicious. Now low in towards Mount again, who was always playing. Now Mount, that's a terrific ball. Here is Barkley, and he's just levered off it inside the penalty area. It was a strong challenge from Kieran Kelly and McCabe, who does have experience in English football, but here is Batshuayi, who lets fly, and that's a fine save from the veteran Barry Murphy.
It's a good save, isn't it? I mean, didn't quite catch it as he would like to have done, Batshuayi, but never frightened to take a chance for Emerson as we speak, as Zappacosta will do it on the other side.
Emerson with that early delivery, looking for Bat.
And I think as we see here, Ross Barkley looking to, that's unlucky, a little bit heavy for about 3 weeks.
I'm sure Frank Lampard and Jody Morris have some more modern. Kovacic given the opportunity to assess his options, and that's a splendid finish from Mason Mount.
That's a wonderful goal, isn't it? You can feel it coming, it's just a question of time, but it's all about that delivery into the box and the running off the ball. And we often speak about midfield players, and we often, in the past, we've spoken about Frank, of course, arriving in these areas. Well, there's a man who's learned off of him last.
Well, Frank Lampard knows all about Mason Mount. Took him to Derby County. Saw him really impressed there, and he's wasted little time here. Now Mount, that's another good ball, Batshuayi with a smart turn, and he's so unlucky.
You know what, this is fabulous play. And again, Mason Mount getting into a good position, and he's got a man wide, but he just does this fade where he just drips.
Penalty.
Well, yeah, not in these sorts of games though.
Here is Mount, and then Luis, and on the stretch at the far post, it was Batshuayi just unable to turn in his second goal of the pre-season.
Well, these are the opportunities that, likes of Tammy Abraham.
Kovacic, and it's quickly on from Barkley. And here is Emerson with the early cross in, and there's appeal for handball inside the area as it's deflected behind.
Good run by Tammy as well. Makes a good run for it. You know, it might soon. We talked about partnerships, and there's one coming.
Well, here is Duna with an early ball in for St Pat's, and it was just over the head of Dean Clark, who was coming in at the far post.
It's a good run from Clark, isn't it? Just finds himself far post, 1 against 1. But because he's a centre forward, he just want to get back in, up front.
The early cross. Played well over 50 games in the Championship last season, Batshuayi. And Kovacic. And it's just too high on this occasion, but Chelsea continued. Now Luis. Flicked on towards Abraham, and it almost breaks to Batshuayi back, but that's a decent ball forward. And now Markey with the break into the penalty.
Impress, they'll get their chance.
There's an opportunity for St Pat's to try. Was winding up there for the acrobatics, but here is Kovacic, and it's a goal kick.
Yeah, Peter
Costa. Chelsea had players forward there, but now St Pat's themselves are careless, and Chris Forrester, having given the ball away initially, has now given away the free kick as well.
He had a rush of blood.
Barkley, Mount again, Abraham looking to work the 1-2, and he's been a tricky customer so far. Here is Birmingham. Barkley again, it could open up here for the shot, and it does, and Murphy gets something on it. Pick out Batshuayi, and the clearance will be gathered by Abraham once again, who goes for the curler, but just over the angle.
I don't blame him for taking this on, Sammy. He's not really had any opportunities so far. As you say, a great little touch round the corner. Ball onto Batshuayi's part of our season.
It's Mount's delivery, and the flick from Barkley takes it away from goal. Batshuayi, just for a second, thought it might spin back into play. And the flag's up for offside.
Narrow running wider to give you an option.
Now Barkley, it's a driving run, and the shot was blocked. Mount. Zappacosta again. Challenged by Markey, and in the end, now Abraham picks up a loose ball. It breaks to Batshuayi. For Barkley. Now Emerson. Oh! A clean strike from Emerson. And Chelsea have doubled their lead.
Well, he gets good power, doesn't he, Emerson? I'm not too sure if there wasn't a slight deflection from a defender here as they try and block it, but he gets the strike away. It's just a question of time when someone was going to have a pop at goal. It's nicely there for Ross Barkley, but he just sets up Emerson here. Let's see if there's a slight deflection. Hey, we'll have to wait and see.
Jorginho, Barkley, and here is Batshuayi! And this time Murphy redeems himself with a wonderful save.
It's good play, isn't it? Lovely bit of play. That's why he finds himself in good space. And as this was working itself out...
And it's Barkley who curls it low, and Murphy again denies him with a really good save.
Yeah, he's got hold of this, Ross. Not bad effort at all. Having said that, it's the goalkeeper's side. You need
to try and break. It's Duna. And there's double coverage from both Tomori and Matt. Quickly win it back, Kovacic. And that's an excellent ball. Here is Tammy Abraham. It's his chance. And Murphy denies him as well.
The creativity is going to come from Chelsea. We know that.
Batshuayi. Abraham. He was clipped. And it's a Chelsea free kick. McCabe with the challenge.
Well, these are always interesting ones, aren't they?
And Borussia Mönchengladbach. Now Batshuayi, that's a lovely turn. Murphy this time, right behind. Zappacosta with the dart, but Batshuayi looking to turn. This time he creates the opening for himself, but the shot whizzes just over.
Well, 2 or 3 times we've seen players like Tammy and Mishiba get into good positions to strike for goal.
Last season, here is Alonso. That's another dangerous ball in. It breaks to Palmer. And that's some very calm defending on the edge of the 6-yard area, but Gilmour quickly recovers.
Yeah, Barkley, all these players, Ruben, being out injured at the moment. And Billy Gill, they did.
Here is Palmer.
It's done well.
That's a sweet turn. Now Giroud looking for Pedro. And once again, Chelsea not quite providing the finish.
Yeah, it's good play though, isn't it? It's good movement, it's good. It certainly is interesting that he set it up again here for Pedro.
Now Pedro finding Giroud, who was driven wide, and as a result, the finish lacking the necessary menace.
Yeah, it's on his weaker right foot. He's been pushed a little bit too far.
Losing out, but typically showing the appetite to win it back. And here is Palmer now. And it's straight into the midriff of Murphy.
Nice good start, isn't it, in the first. I think Frank and Jody be more than happy with the opening 4 or 5 minutes. It was a worrying time, you know, I'm going to be too perfect.
And that's well seen by Kennedy, picking up the loose ball, and he goes for goal himself. 11 for the first games in the Premier League. With all of his first...
And completely. You know, Barcelona are going to be tough, but good games for us to play.
Now Pedro, as Chelsea look to work their way down the centre, and Palmer finds Pedro. The Dane Christensen picks out Giroud, and that was terrific tech. Now Palmer, Pedro makes the run from midfield, but here is Kennedy, good cross, excellent finish. Olivier Giroud makes it 3.
Yeah, it's a decent finish, isn't it? You expect that on his sweet left foot. Good play again from deep. Ball won back very, very quickly and turned around so we can make another attack, and a lovely little ball by support. Pedro makes a decent enough run. So sorry, it was Kennedy flicking the ball in for Giroud to finish well.
And that third, probably the most famous, legendary defender for Manchester United. Frank Lampard, I'm sure.
Arters, definites, so I guess he'll go from there.
It was tricky play from Burns.
And Bakayoko, which is surprising.
Zuma on the stretch too. On the edge of the penalty area, both Alonso and Gilmour just losing out. Here is Burns. Burns again showing his pace, and that's a rather cheap free kick given up by Christensen.
It's an easy yellow card as well for the referee. Don't see too many.
Maybe needing support, but he goes alone, and that's a terrific finish from Olivier Giroud.
And that's quality. That's top quality. We know he's not got the pace to get away from defenders, but he finds himself one-on-one. He intercepts the first pass, finds himself one-on-one. He waits for support. You can see him looking over his shoulder.
Who was looking for the support before deciding to go alone.
Well, when you talk about...
Very comfortable overall for Chelsea. 2 goals in each half. And two different starting 11s.
I show you.